your business needs. Superior copy and printing services, business equipment and furniture, and a wide array of renting materials for all occasions. TDC Business Center, providing solutions that work.
When they start them there, we are top man, we take charge. Magnum we drink and we are shell down hard. Blast like a star with some gallopar. Overdo it, we take it too far. Take charge, take charge.
We are hot gal, we set the trend. Magnum we drink for the top man then. Wine with the style, no stop from spend. Hot blend, back bend, and take charge, take charge.
Magnum tonic wine for the real star them. Take charge, take charge. Must be 18 or older, drink responsibly.
Get ready for an exciting year with Flow Broadband and TV connecting you at home. Sign up now and get a free Samsung tablet worth over $900. Up to 100 megabits per second blazing internet will keep everyone on top of everything every day. While Flow TV delivers the best home entertainment with the latest shows on demand in HD plus favorites you can record. Visit your nearest Flow store today to sign up for Flow Broadband and TV and get your free Samsung tablet. Conditions apply. Good morning and welcome to Voices on WINN FM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devonne Cornelius, and I am here with Jade Johnson.
Yes, I'm here as well.
I told her she's a celebrity. I think she's a celebrity.
I'm really not. Don't tell the people that.
Celebrity name, Jade Johnson. Jade, tell the people who you are, because I don't know who you are.
You don't? I just showed up? Okay. Well, I'm someone who works with Devonne every day. I'm also one of the hosts for Island Tea in the Morning. I'm also a producer, and I do some digital marketing work for the station. And today I'm going to be your co-host on this program. Yeah, we're banging remote today, Devonne.
And I look forward to a fun discussion with Jade. Jade is usually a fun person at work, so I hope that she'll be a fun person during this discussion.
That is a lie, Devonne.
Let me just say good morning to the first time unusual listeners, all those persons who have joined us via the different social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, via the website, and of course via the radio.
Yes, and make sure y'all share and like. You know, you will have to encourage your people to hear our conversations because they don't want to miss it. And it would be a disservice to them if you don't share and like.
And remember And remember our WhatsApp number is 662-2204. 662-2204. If your phone don't have any money, you could send us a comment, a text, whatever it is. Right? But remember, it's not for calling.
No.
People keep calling the number J.
They do? Oh, gosh. While you're on air?
And while we're on air, the phone ringing, but it's not connected to our studio. It's just for you to send us a WhatsApp message.
Yes.
The numbers to call are 466-0989-762 and 662. Jade, let us start this topic.
Yes.
Because we've been chatting for
4 minutes now. So let us start this conversation. So we want to talk about price control and the cost of food, the cost of living, and we want to talk about price versus the quantity,
And
price
quality.
versus the quality, and the struggles that we face, and even some of the advantages.
Yes.
In buying food that is of a good quality and of a good quantity.
So, let me ask you a question. We're in a panorama still. Panorama.
Look, I've heard panorama, pandemic. Oh gosh.
Yeah, because I think we usually do a pandemic, it just stresses us out, so we use all kind of P words.
Yeah.
But we're in a pandemic, and do you think that you've seen like a rise in food compared to before the pandemic?
I have.
The costs.
I have. I have a friend who works at a particular supermarket, and I realized that there were some, slight increases in different items. So I asked, why was there an increase? And their explanation, which I did not really understand, but I said, okay. The explanation was that there is now a demand because of the lockdowns we experienced last year. Remember, it was not only St Kitts and Nevis who was under lockdown. You had other countries, and I think at the time, those other countries were ordering more, and so it was less food, and so basically they had to pay more. So now we have to pay more. Which
I don't know if I like that explanation.
Okay,
and here's
like
why.
it.
We're in a pandemic. People are losing jobs left and right. People are unemployed. People can't afford certain things. One of your basic essential needs is food. You need food to survive no matter what. You need food, you need water. So when people decide to raise the prices on food, it makes it harder for people to get food, especially if it's somebody who lost a job, they have kids to feed, they have a family to maintain. You can't then go tell them, well, yes, you don't have no money, but I'm going to increase the price on this because it's harder for us to import it. Who do we talk to about that? Who do we get to fix that? Because this sounds like a issue for consumer affairs.
Well, definitely. We have the Consumer Affairs Department in both St Kitts and Nevis, and I hope that we have persons there who are listening, and the public, the general public. But, I think we're playing our part, Jade, in talking about it, because we're not the only ones who probably, at a point in our life, felt... what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to use the word victimized.
No. I don't know if that's the word.
You went to the store and you're accustomed to buying some, I don't know.
Example, milk. We're accustomed to buy milk for, let's say, $2.
Yeah.
You go on to the store now, milk is $3.50.
Oh,
You only, and mind you, sometimes I know there's people that, because they shop so often, they come with they already know the prices for the things that they need to buy. So they come in with the money to buy that.
Exact money.
I know if I go on to buy my milk, I know my milk is $2. Now when I reach to the cashier, or when I looking at it on the shelf, it's $3.50. What I supposed to do now? I can't get no milk, my child can't eat.
But you see, that has happened to me. I don't even want to say on numerous occasions.
Oh,
but
no. You're accustomed to buy something.
I am accustomed to buying something, so I would go with the exact money, to be frank. I'll go with the exact money, Jade. And when I go, the cashier telling me, oh no, it costs 50 cents more. And it costs $1 more.
And you don't have the dollar,
more.
so like, what are you going to know?
So I'm like, okay, I'll be right back. Sometimes I go back because I need it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'll just forget it. But it's a real concern. It's a real concern. Now, Jade, we also have the I call it a challenge. We have the challenge of people who want to eat healthy.
Yes.
And people who want to change their diet and have something that would help them in having a healthy lifestyle.
Or balance their diet, because
balanced diet.
sometimes we're accustomed to just eating a little bit of fast food all the time, and
all this starch and all the...
Yeah, no, we want to put in a little bit of broccoli between there to break it up, and then,
Well, I like broccoli.
Me too. That's my favorite.
So we have the challenge, Jade, of people wanting to eat healthy and having a balanced diet. But then, the price.
Boy, let me tell you something, right?
Price.
I see why sometimes people, it's harder for some people to get on that path because eating healthy is one thing that I find is expensive. And I feel like these are the things that's supposed to be the cheapest because it's people's health and, you know. I feel like it's supposed to be the total opposite. Like, I feel like things that are more unhealthy or bad for you should cost more than things that are good for you. Because that will encourage people to do the right thing or to implement those things into the diet. But if they can't afford to, because now when you go buy, let's say, some fast food, it costs $7.50 for a crate with 2 chicken and some fried chips and stuff. But for you to buy a head of broccoli is the same $7. What are you going to do?
But interesting point that you made. I think it's not only here. It's across. It's a global thing.
Yes.
Generally, I find that food that is good for you is expensive, and the food that is bad for you is cheap. And you wonder why, because if you have the food that is good for you at a lower cost, it would encourage you to buy it.
Yeah.
But if it's at a higher cost, and you just
non-GMO.
can't get there because
Yeah, the gluten free, the non-GMO, the this and the that, and boy, when you go look at it, and even when you go to the stores and you look at them, because they have the sections now. They have the sections where you find the gluten free and the this and the that. When you look at the prices on those things, and they're usually next to the things that are the same type of product, but the product has all the bad things in it. When you come and when you compare these prices, you're like, I might as well buy the thing that's bad for me. Like, Lord, I know it's bad for me, but I can't afford to get the quality products or the products that are probably going to be better for my health because reality is I just can't afford it.
But if I may add, I think it has to do with the preparation that goes into the
healthier stuff?
The healthier stuff. Because, you go to the supermarket and you have the fresh fruits and vegetables. But imagine the labor and the hard work that one has to put in to make sure that Jade goes to the store and gets fresh vegetables and fruits. So I think that in a sense we're paying for the labor of bringing these things on the market versus actually paying for the actual item.
That's an issue.
Yeah.
Because again, how do we balance being able to afford to eat better if these are the challenges? Because now you're telling me the man that has to go reap and plow his garden or his field, the reason why he would charge more is because of the labor. Whereas somebody who doesn't have to do all of that, they could charge a lower price, which is understandable. But, there has to be some balance in this because if we all decide to just eat bad, we're going to be a very unhealthy nation.
All of it.
And then it's going to hurt us in the long run because now we have to deal with we have to deal with the ramifications of the diseases that come from not eating properly.
Right. Jade, the phone lines are ringing off. Let us take our first call for this morning. Caller, good morning. You are live on Voices.
Good morning. Let me start with Jade. Good morning, Jade. Welcome.
Good morning.
That's our female. Charlotte. And Devonne think it's only men have ideas.
Oh, dear.
Good morning, Devonne.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, you're giving God thanks.
Great.
I have a good God,
Great.
Good God, he put me here so every morning I help out Devonne. Devonne don't cut me on the team, but on.
Oh, dear. I hope you need to start including.
I need no invitation. Now, let me see if I can help you sort out some of the questions you raise. It is an economic, political, and an accounting problem. Now, the price, there may be, there may not be price gouging. There may be. You see, when you're talking about the importation, a lot of our stuff that we think come from the USA. And if you are following the news, the cost of up in the USA, basically when Trump started to clamp down on the immigration, the farmers were using cheap Mexican labor. Started to say you don't want them there and whatever. They push up the price of labor. And then Corona came, and with the restrictions, you know, you would have heard about outbreaks in the food, in the meat packing business, in the farming business, you know, so that there was, in fact, reduced supply. Then there is the transportation increase in the cost because they were only shipping out of Miami, right?
Right.
So and then a lot of these foods had to be carried maybe across the land or whatever to Miami. So it actually increased the cost of the good before it left the USA. Now we reached to St. Kitts, and this is where it's tricky because anybody there did accounts?
Anybody here? Where?
You and Jade, and you did.
Oh, I don't know if Jade. I did not do accounts. Jade, did you do accounts?
Yes, I did.
Okay, Jade did accounts.
All right, so you know about stock, right?
Sorry, could you repeat?
You know your price stock. First
I
in, first out,
yes.
last in, first out.
Yes.
All right, so let's get there, because that is where I think part of the tricking story starts. Now, it is either that our wholesalers do not have large stocks, or what they do is when they get the stock with the increased price, they price the old stock at the new price. Because sometimes price shouldn't just change suddenly if they really had good stock, eh? So if the last come in and go out, that's the price. So some of them are actually on the shelf already. So they carry up the price for all the goods, the old one and the new one. Now we then come to, and then you asked about price control. You cannot really have price control in free market system. Supply and demand determine price. That means people want the thing more, the price supposed to go up. Things with low demand, the price supposed to go down. And wholesalers, even on the street, they do it. In the market, they do it. When things scarce potato, your potato gone at $8 a pound. The same potato that they were begging you to buy for $3 and $4, nothing changed. Just a matter of demand, you know,
Right.
and the supply.
Yeah.
When there's less, the price go up. Now, there was what they call certain basic goods. The government used to import them, and this is where part of the problem starts. You have a political decision to close the supply office. You heard about supply office, right?
Yes.
The government used to bring in all of the sugar, rice, flour, and cornmeal. You know, the basic. Now, when you go and you close the supply market, and milk too. The wholesalers now become the importers. And of course, they set the price. The government may give them a limit. And I know if I'm doing some work for them, but the chamber before years now, that they are given a certain margin. Now the margin is what you put on after you clear them from the port, eh? What you add on to it, yeah, because the insurance and the freight. And then whatever you pay to bring them out of the port yard, you add 20%, 30% in case I'm 10%. But you already don't have the price fixed. And so, whereas you heard this thing about the sugar, whereas the government used to sell a case of milk for this, it now in the hands of the wholesaler and free market. And in St. Kitts, there's not much competition, believe me or not. We have what is called oligopoly, price fixing. Goes on in St. Kitts, price fixing, price leader. Let me tell you how it works. Now, Rams, I think, might be the biggest wholesaler, right? You have Rams, Hosford, and the Chinese coming after. One of them I don't like I said which one. One set the price and the rest follow. So sometimes it don't even make sense you leave here. You know what is it?
Well, we can't really say that we have,
No,
but
even also in economics. And on the street, the vendors also follow the lead. They will actually tell you, oh, you ain't see cost $5 in rams, you are minority for $3.
well,
They set the price, and they will actually tell you that they have to set the price because they have to buy these things in the supermarket.
and also because people usually like a good deal or a good discount, and they would usually buy what is the most affordable. So if 3 places have it for $4 and one place has it for $3, they're going to buy it for $3.
Well, which one is I for $3? Remember, when the Chinese came in first, they will start market sharing. You'll notice that everybody selling the same price. When they came in first, it's called
Well,
market
some people
sharing.
still
In
don't
order
think
for
so.
you to
Some
get
people
market
think-
share, you cut your price. And when you get in clients, you just join the gang. So sometimes no matter 1 cent, 2 cents, we're killing ourselves for.
Right,
Now,
right.
what they market, you have what is called the consumer affairs. Their job is to monitor the pricing. They have, I don't know if they still keep it up, but they used to publish on a weekly basis the prices of goods and the variation in them with the location. So there is really not much connection between the price of the product and the price they buy it for, On the street, they will tell you. Because some of them say they don't know, but it has been worked out. The cost of the goods they produce. The potato and yam and so. Some of them might cost $1 something, whatever. But they will tell you grams one cost 5 by 1.5. So that the farmers themselves are hampering people from eating healthy. You can't tell me. I was so angry this last time. Government get them free.
Right.
Free seeds, free slips, and you reap the products and you're selling them at the old price.
Right. Ms. Henry, wrap it up. We have other callers on the
I
line.
want to wrap up. I wrap it up. Jade, you got the idea?
Yes, fully.
All right then.
Right. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
your
Ms. Henry.
input. I wanted to add something, Jade. We have the challenge of wanting to eat healthy and not being able to afford some of the food. What I have seen some people do is plant their own food.
Yeah, actually, especially during this time, I've seen a
lot of backyard gardens.
influx of people now setting up, having their green thumb working, and these are things that you have to do because, again, it's a Panasonic and independent. And in
I was
this,
supposed to ask you what is a Panasonic,
and in this Panasonic, you have to find ways to pinch pennies, and if that means you have to start growing, then you start growing. And I agree with that. My mom actually did, my brother as well. There's a lot of people I know that started planting their own foods because you just have to find a way to.
A lot of people did, and those who were already doing prior to this whole situation, they took it to another level because it was not only for them to eat healthier, but it was a way for them to pay the bills and keep on the lights and keep their lives going and make ends meet. But the issue of price control is a serious one.
It is,
and as I've said before, I think all of us have experienced some point in our life. Some kind of headache when you go to whatever store and you say, boy, this thing, I can't buy that, because I am accustomed to buying it for $10 and it's now for $10.50. But as I've said, Jade, for me, I think it's the work and the labor that goes into the preparation of these goods and these items. Now, quality and quantity. I would go to the store. My mother would send me to the store, and she would say, "You probably have, let me see. The rice. You have Uncle Ben's, And then you have the next one. I forget the other name. But you have Uncle Ben's and you have the one in the red. In the red.
I don't remember the name of that
Trent, you know the one in the red? There's Uncle Ben's, which is the orange, right? Is that?
Yes, par excellence.
Par excellence?
Yes.
Okay, maybe is that one, par excellence?
I would, Trent would be right, because he has a restaurant, so he would know.
So it's Uncle Ben's in the orange and Uncle Ben's in the red. Mm-hmm. No, Mommy would say, buy the Uncle Ben's, because that one is better, of a better quality. Somebody else would say, buy the one in the red, because that one is of a better quality.
And then they have the one that doesn't have a label. It's bagged out.
It's just there, so you don't even know what it is.
It's rice.
But for some reason, yeah.
Yes.
Well, for some reason, people would buy the Uncle Ben's, which I think is a bit more expensive.
To you, I find out people usually buy the ones that is already bagged out.
But I know, but there's some people who would buy the Uncle Ben's not because they they would buy it because of the quality. Mm-hmm. Oh, this one is nicer and this one has a better taste. To me, all rice is the same, right?
Once you cook it, add what you have to add.
But this one has a specific taste and it tastes better. So even though the Uncle Ben would cost $50 and the one in the red it costs $20, people would still buy the one in the orange.
Quality, because I feel like a lot of people. Wait, what?
The orange one, Uncle Ben, is orange.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I feel like I feel like that's because people associate Uncle Ben with quality. Mm-hmm. Like, this is the premium rice, so you want to eat the premium rice. You don't know what's in the other rice. Well, if it's rice, you don't know because it has no label and that sort of stuff. Now, I'm not saying anything is wrong with the other rice, but I feel like this is the reasoning behind people buying that. Buying Uncle Ben opposed to the regular race because, as we talk about quality.
Mm-hmm. Well, people prefer quality. Mm-hmm. Then there is quantity. People want a lot of stuff.
But let me tell you something, right? And we was talking about it yesterday. A lot of
stuff.
Devonne, when you go buy food, if that crate that you buy for $20 don't have any rice, a side, a salad,
and a side,
another side,
and some more rice,
gravy, plus the chicken,
and more chicken.
They don't want it.
Jade, I'm going to confess, I am sometimes guilty of it.
Same,
if
I am as well.
Go to your store, your restaurant, and I am paying you $50 for a plate of food, and when I lift up the plate of food, it brought me hand, may want it. Brought me hand in the sense that I anticipate the plate to be heavy. So I don't brace myself.
And you take it up and it just come up. No, you're vexed because you feel like you spent $20 and you know what you say? I could have cooked home. Yeah, I would have had more food. I can't go waste my money. What empty crate this? I actually saw somebody talking about it on Facebook that they feel like sometimes we don't get enough food, and I'm like, they cannot mean Kittish places, because one thing a roadside restaurant or a lunch establishment will do is pack your food.
Not all.
Not all? Well, the ones I visit.
I mean, for the most part, some of them would definitely do that, but not all. I think some of them, they try to take advantage of you. There's some people who charge you according to what clothes you wear and how you look.
Excuse me? Mm-hmm. So if I have on a nice National Bank uniform, they're going to charge me more than if I just come there in my little t-shirt?
Yeah, because you ain't got nothing there walking nowhere. You ain't important.
That is interesting. That is interesting. I did not, honestly did not know that.
People do that. They look at you and say, well, give me $50, And then your friend go back a few minutes later, but just give me $20, I'll walk with you. Some people charge you based on how you look and what clothes you wear and where you live or what car you drive. It's a real issue, Jade.
Anybody charge me $50 for a crate of food that costs $20? Anyway.
But it's a good conversation that we're having, Jade, and the phone lines are still open, so we definitely welcome your calls. And remember, we have the WhatsApp number 662-2204. We're talking about price control on the food, price versus the quality. the quantity.
Do you believe that places that pack your crate with all the starch and fluff, do you believe it's cheaper for them to cook in a greater quantity? Because how are you affording to pack crates every day with this portion of food and be able to afford to cook in that way?
I think what they have been doing is they cook in a large proportion, but they cook very cheap food.
So they buy the cheaper products.
Yeah, they're very cheap. So they would go and buy the one in the red instead of Uncle Ben's.
Well, if you have to feed 50 people.
You know? So, Jay, they cook in large proportions, but they cook very cheap food. And what I have realized is that they pretty much cook maybe the same thing. If you understand what I mean. So it's like you're looking to eat something different, and you want some rice, and the rice color is yellow today. But you could just buy a little cheap and
Yeah, color it up.
or you could buy some food coloring and you know the rice. Versus doing it the sophisticated way, which I don't know what the sophisticated way is, but I do believe that
Curry.
But you see right there. But yeah, I think it has to do with when people buy their food to sell, they probably look at the quality and the quantity definitely, and they buy the food at a cheaper price, and so they are able to give you more food. But some people think that when they get a plate that is ramsacked with food, they get their money what?
Yeah, that's generally the consensus. Do you not agree with that?
I for the most part, yes, but
you know why sometimes I wouldn't agree with that? Because even though you're getting a large quantity, right? We still have to look at what we're putting in our bodies. Oh, we have a call. Somebody wants to talk about food.
Good morning, caller. You are live on Voices.
Oh, it's me. I'm not a big food eater. But,
You're not a big food eater? You say you're not a big food eater?
No, I've never been, you know. But since I'm diabetic, I have to eat vegetables and broccoli, you know, the whole works. You're making some errors, you know, Devonne.
What do you mean?
You're talking about Uncle Ben. You know those rice are parboiled rice? The loose rice that is sold is more nutritious. That's what you need to know. These box rice that they have to turn around and enrich them. You see it mark on the box?
Yeah.
Right.
So better off buying loose rice. If you really want to buy healthy rice, you buy, I just call them grass seed, brown rice. Because it has not been milled. But when it comes to Uncle Ben and so, you buy name brand.
But that's what we're saying. The brand is what...
The brand does not mean better quality. He's saying better quality. That's what I'm saying.
I think
better
I actually said
quality
that.
is a loose and polished rice.
No, I think the brand of it on some occasions means that it's a better quality, because depending on what it is, people would say, Miss Henry, that Uncle Ben's rice is better than the other one. Some would say that the other one is better, but that is how they think, because ain't everybody would buy the same. Ain't everybody would buy Uncle Ben. Huh? Sorry?
Make you think so.
Pardon?
You ask any nutritionist,
She's saying the advertising. Well, that's what it's supposed to do. The advertising is supposed to sell
Yeah,
food.
definitely.
So now, the people who sell food could afford to sell things because they buy them in large quantities. They buy wholesale. Buy a bag of rice, a case of chicken. That's why they're able to sell so cheap, you know.
Yeah, well, that's what we're saying.
Yeah, they're buying wholesale.
Wholesale, they buy wholesale. And then sometimes they get concessions, you know. You can buy rice and things. The peas now are expensive. So some end up cooking the rice thing and color. You could color it with turmeric, yellow ginger, some different things you could do. But what I think some of them do, that they don't change the menu.
That's it right there.
So they don't have a variety.
And then the fishers, to me, the fishermen make life even harder. When you're going to pay $12 a pound of fish. 12, 14, 1 pound of fish, you know. So if they're going to sell you rice and fish, it got to cost you $30. Because the fish alone costs half before you cook. So sometimes we ourselves contribute to the poor quality diet that we have. You can buy chicken, them legs, cheaper than buying wings. So we at a thing now, all of you who got garden with the greens, or people have to begin again to eat green and rice. That is what the elders grew up on. But young people, may want all them bush in my food. All right then.
Thank you so much for your input. Let us take a short break, Jade. I want to drink some water. Let us take a short break, and we will be right back to continue our discussion today.
Buying your medication is easy with City Drug Store's curbside pickup. WhatsApp our certified pharmacist at 662-8769 with your requests. For prescriptions, take a clear photograph and send for review. We will engage you in dialogue and then provide a quotation and link for payment. You can then pay via TDC's online payment portal. And once the transaction is complete, you'll be notified that your pickup is ready. Yes, it's that easy. Send your WhatsApp message to 662-8769 to order your medications today with City Drug Store's curbside pickup service.
Get ready for an exciting year with Flow Broadband and TV connecting you at home. Sign up now and get a free Samsung tablet worth over $900. Up to 100 megabits per second blazing internet will keep everyone on top of everything every day. While Flow TV delivers the best home entertainment with the latest shows on demand in HD plus favorites you can record. Visit your nearest Flow store today to sign up for Flow Broadband and TV and get your free Samsung tablet. Conditions apply.
Feel the magic happening.
Campari.
Taste. Something incredible happens when Campari is mixed just right. Like Campari and orange juice poured over ice. Taste it. Try it tonight. Bitter, sweeter, better. Campari. Must be 18 years and older. Drink responsibly.
So people would. Good morning and welcome back to Voices. I'm your host for today, Devonne Cornelius, and I'm here with celebrity Jade
Stop
Johnson.
it.
Jade, you're a celebrity. I'm here with Jade Johnson, and we are having another edition of Voices. Let me just say thank you again to all of you who have joined us via the different social media platforms, via the radio and our website. Remember, our WhatsApp number is 662. I'm blasting this number because I want people to send their messages and be a part of the discussion today. That number is 662-2204. 662-2204. And remember the numbers to call are 466-0989-762 and 662. Sorry. You are listening to another edition of Voices, and today is the 24th day of February.
Yes, we are almost through this month.
I think February is a beautiful month. But I think
because it's filled with beauty. Don't even start, you know.
But November is
We're going
better.
wrong now.
You're better
You see,
with
no, we're going
November.
wrong. We're going wrong. You was on the right path just now. I could give you that, but then you just went woo. But you know, Devonne, we appreciate people who are listening and actually sending us pointers. Like a friend of mine actually mentioned something that is a very good point that we didn't even think about, and it was that the way we eat now can be linked back to slave days. And then he further explained why, which I like. You have information, but you don't really remember because it's not at the forefront. When he said it, I do remember. I think either learning about this somewhere or reading this somewhere, but he was saying that the way we eat now can be linked to slave days because back then you had to have a good amount of nutrients and starch and all of that because of the hard labor you were doing.
And the sun, the blister.
Yes, for you to be able to carry all this cane or whatever we were carrying back then as slaves, you had to have bulky meals. And the bulky meals have to be cheap meals because, you know, the slave owner is not about to give you their best, the top quality, but they want to be able to pack you with food so you can do what they need you to do.
Jade, this is my take on it, and I may be wrong, but this is my opinion. Yesterday we were having a conversation in the office about people that would cook a lot of food. I think it has to do with the culture. And it has a historical background. I know it makes a lot of sense. It's like when you attend these, sometimes on a regular Sunday.
Boy, don't you watch it on a Sunday, right? Sunday, you cook everything in your fridge, you know?
On a regular Sunday.
You cook 5 things.
Yeah.
You open the fridge, and I am so guilty of this because I cook a lot on Sundays especially, and when I tell you I'm cooking like it's Christmas on a Sunday, and that's how we eat every Sunday.
It's a Caribbean thing. We do it, and I'm guilty of it. Let us. Oh, we lost that caller.
Feel free to call back, caller. We want to hear from you.
Call us back before the credit run out if you call somebody else. But call. Call us back. But yeah, Jade, you know, they're back. Good morning, caller. You are live on Voices. Good morning, caller. You're live on Voices.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm here listening. I started to listen from your inception. And okay. Hi, your name is evading me, but I recognize your voice.
Jade?
You're going to shock a card just now. She shocked a card, and that allows an avenue for me to come in and make my contribution. I wish to say good morning to all. Especially I like to greet Mrs. Henry as Queen Mother. I'm going to get back to that Queen Mother aspect because it is not, if we think it's just a little really nearly title, it's not. 1 Kings chapter 15 verse 13. It is also biblical that we bestow honor on those who are worthy of such honor. Her contribution speaks volumes to why she would be called or be bestowed with that title. But let me get back to the matter at hand. Your guest struck a chord when she spoke about the food that persons would have eaten to really give them the strength to do such arduous tasks back then. But then, we can also say that we don't know if there are daters perpetrators then and now to ascertain what was the health and the various non-communicable diseases or whatever that name would be on such diseases that are rampant amongst our people today. You know it. And what would have contributed to. Because like your guest said, the owners wasn't going to give us the best of what it is. We had to make do with what was predisposed to us to eke out a living in terms of our nutrition and, and the like. But when you're going to get to these lot of pickles, salt, fish, and all of those
pigtail
throughout the years, my conclusion, and studies has been conducted, that certain things would have passed down through certain generations.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can call it hereditary, and I don't know where it was started, but somehow, something is responsible for the overwhelming health problems that our people are being, bombarded with.
Mm-hmm.
Something. So let us put our thinking cap, do our research, and come up as to what would have caused, such overwhelming statistics, like numbers, with our people today.
Okay.
And so that is very interesting. I thought I would have come in on that.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Cornelius?
Yes?
Hello?
Yes, hello, I'm listening.
Yes. I have decided to start, as I alluded to, I want to make some correction. I think the last conversation we had, it was very interesting when someone came up with an as to what to investigate, how to investigate, what we should investigate in terms of the ingredients. With another subject, which is not on the table today, but I think I said a word there which I want to make some correction. It said, what is it? Anyway, something that a part of the vaccine, I think that I was wrong with what I said. I just want to make that correction. But I'm going to continue to listen, and then if I get the opportunity, I'll call back and make another contribution. Unrelated to this topic, but another contribution. Thanks for listening.
And thank you. Thank you, callers, so much for your input. It is 47 minutes.
Until lunchtime. Until we go pack our bellies with all the starch and goodness.
11:47. Right,
Devonne, what are you having for lunch?
So.
No starch today? No dumpling?
So, pigtail in there.
Oh, what piece?
We have a call. Caller, good morning. You are on Voices. Good morning.
Good morning.
I have a comment in response to the statement that the enslavers packed the enslaved with an abundance of food to make them work. First of all, hunger and starvation were rife during the period of West Indian enslavement. That's the first thing. And the enslavers did not count on an abundance of food to make the enslaved work. They counted on the whip. Anyway, thank you for your discussion. It's quite interesting.
Thank you, caller, for that. Well, yes, that is also another factor, but I think we were just trying to link where we got this habit of packing starch onto our plates, because I'm pretty sure a lot of us know when we buy food or when we cook food, it's rice and then it's a side of either potato salad or scallop potato or macaroni pie, corn pie, everything starch. sometimes you buy food and everything in the crate is white because it's rice and then again some type of white pie. Then, they have the coleslaw, which is white. So I feel like we're just trying to link where people got this habit of packing their foods or packing their plates with starch.
Jade, I think it is, and as I said, I could be wrong, but I think it's a cultural thing.
Cultural thing? You think it's culturally
it has a historical, what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, on a regular Sunday, sometimes you just have, 3 people or 5 people the most living in the house. And it's a lot of food.
Let me tell you, every burner occupied, every place in the oven
It gets
full.
to the point where every burner on the stove is occupied, the oven is on, and you have a cold pot on the outside finishing the rest of the food.
Because something have to finish. I don't know where we got this habit from, honestly.
But that observation that you made is a very good one. It could be that back then they had to stuff the slaves with a lot of food to keep them going.
Or even if it didn't come from the slave masters themselves, whatever we had, whatever they had back then, they had to use for fuel. So if they had rice, they had to stuff themselves with rice because when you go out in the hot sun and you have to deal with these devils, you need the energy, which is unfortunate. But one day we'll tackle that discussion as well.
Yep. Guys, we are winding down. We're getting close to the 12 o'clock hour. We will take a break for the headline news, but we are still welcoming your calls and your comments. We have another call. Good morning, caller. You are live on Voices.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting conversation.
Thank you.
Let's look at country boy versus city boy. I grew up partly in the city and the rest of my life in the country. And pertaining back to slavery days, the way of doing things since there was no refrigeration was salting things. So you had salt fish, salt pork. I mean, whatever meat you had to salt it in order to preserve it. And the packing of the plates with food, I think, yes, it's traditional because it's something we're accustomed to. But country life versus city life, you bought most of the things in the city. In the country, everybody had gardens or mountains, and you had a large variety of food, potatoes and yams and dashings and things like that. They would come into the city and they would be sold cheap also. So the city life also had an avenue of packing these nutrition. Now, lifestyle then to lifestyle now, people do less strenuous work. Jade got her office job. You got your office job.
So my job not strenuous.
And
we got some steps here around.
He better believe.
The person who works really hard, he got a way of getting rid of that energy, food that he would have put in the fats and things like that. Unlike the other person who got a more relaxing job, would, put on the pounds. And we realize once you put pounds on, it's very hard to get rid of it.
That is true.
And so I think is lifestyle change in terms of what we do now. One of the things we realize out in the country, your grandfather would be in the mountains until he's 90. And you would be advocating, when you're going to stop, when you're going to get out the mountains. But he would get the donkey ready and ride out to the mountains and walk his horse and things like that. And one of the things we realize, because you think you had a better life now, you encourage him to get out to the mountains, and 2-3 years after he passed, because the inactivity now take a toll on his body. Because when he sit down home and he rocking chair, he easing chair, and does very little, and he come down with diseases and things like that. Unlike when he was in the mountain, he was very, very active. So I think, yes, the loading up of food is traditional. In these days, we can't cook as healthy as we used to cook back then because of the price, the goods that you would have to purchase in order to, have a healthy diet. It's very hard. You don't even see lots of the food now. Because I remember in the country, that's why I love the country. I can't go hungry even if I don't got a cent in my pocket.
That is so
you could have
true.
out in the mountains and there would be always some wild yam that you could dig up.
Or some banana.
Banana and things like that, which is very nutritious. I could have reached out to my bedroom window and pick a papaya. Everybody had lots of different kind of fruit trees in the yard.
Yeah.
You know. And I could remember the days, maybe it's only on a Sunday, I would drink milk tea. Through the week would be bush tea. Bush is very nutritious. I mean, lots of vitamin C and lots of other minerals and things like that you get from bush. And then we were very active. We didn't have telephones and computers and things like that. So we was always active, so we would burn whatever we had. So in the times of slavery, yes, lots of food in order so that you could work hard. And so I think is the change in the way we do things now. I think technology has done an awful lot of good, but also an awful lot of bad. So vice versa, we just got to find the balance. Thank you.
I agree. And thank you for that, Carlo. We agree with your points. Devonne?
I agree. I agree.
No, you know what I like? The only thing I don't agree with is him saying that, our job isn't as strenuous because he has not seen those steps that we have to climb daily. So
there are 2 places.
I don't agree there.
Stairs here, and oh my gosh.
Trust me, those steps are the workout that you need for the day.
Look.
Climb those steps.
Look, my previous job, the one I had before this one, I had steps like those. And Jesus Christ, they literally killed me. I don't know why. I don't know how I'm here. I'm still here.
Because you're meant to climb steps, Devonne.
Colin, thank you so much for your contribution. We are winding down. We are minutes away from the 12 o'clock hour, so we will just use this opportunity to wrap up. And I will ask Jade to give her departing words.
Well, we'll be back eventually, but, we're giving y'all a break to go eat y'all starches, to pack up, to go get y'all nice little lunches, or whatever you may have cooked last night. We want y'all to call us and tell us what y'all had for lunch after we come back so we can judge and see if our belief or our logic behind this is correct.
Yes, definitely. And let me just say thank you to all of you who made Voices possible. Of course, thank you to our sponsors. And thank you, Jade.
You're welcome.
And as Miss Henry said, welcome. Welcome to Voices. We are going to take a break at 12 for the midday news, and we will continue our program at 1:30. Thank you guys so much for being a part of Voices. I was your host, Devonne Cornelius, with a special guest.
Yes.
Special guest.
Special.
Jay Johnson.
You found the sound. 98.9. WINN FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, KDP Enterprises, The Grange, and Carib Brewery.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built non-governmental healthcare organization on St Kitts, offering 24-hour nursing, therapeutic, and residential care for older adults? It's situated at Otley, 7 miles east of Vastair in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodation to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020, fax 466-8221, or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com, or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world. Whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous, you can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air. We get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises, telephone number 466-9595.
We are faced with tough decisions every day, but choosing the right home or motor insurance shouldn't be one. You need fast claim settlement from a company that's been rooted for over 31 years. And don't forget the A Excellent rating by AM Best. Make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Reliable insurance that you can count on. Get a quote today for your home, motor, contents, and liability insurance needs. And make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance. Tomorrow secured. Local agents, Dalil Walwyn & Co. Limited. Telephone 465-2631 or 469-5303 for the Nevis office.
With the WIN Headline News, I am Kevon Brown.
And I am Devonne Cornelius.
Making the headlines. Apart from the health benefits, what are the side effects of taking the COVID-19 vaccine? Regionally, a computer chip containing an individual's fingerprint, driver's license, and other personal data are to be included in the pending Barbados Digital ID and National ID card. Attorney General and Minister of Home Affairs Dale Marshall QC has told lawmakers. In St. Lucia, Broadcast Minister Dominic Feedy says the government remains committed to ensuring the preservation of the nation's archives. And now, the details.
Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, is reminding the nation of the importance of vaccination. Christian Kelzick has that story.
Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, is reminding the nation of our strong vaccination programs delivered over the years on the heels of the COVID-19 vaccination rollout on Monday. He was at the time speaking at his February 23rd edition of Leadership Matters when he made that disclosure.
St Kitts and Nevis has a highly commendable record in mass vaccination. Many of us are alive because of this. A number of vaccination programs come readily to mind. Measles, mumps and rubella, diphtheria, whooping cough and tetanus, yellow fever, hepatitis, inactivated polio, oral polio vaccine, DPT, influenza, human papilloma virus. All these vaccination programs and more have helped us to have a very outstanding record in healthcare delivery. They have helped us as a people to live fuller and happier lives, we must now add the COVID-19 vaccine to our list. As your national leader, I encourage you to take advantage of the free vaccines. It costs you nothing, yet it will do you and your family a lot of good. So encourage all your friends, your loved ones, your co-workers and teammates to register for the vaccine. When in doubt, my advice is to consult your doctor, our medical personnel, and follow up on all public education programs.
Prime Minister Harris used the opportunity to stress the importance of vaccination, stating that it would assist St Kitts and Nevis in getting back to a level of normalcy.
Yesterday, February the 22nd, we commenced the historic rollout of a national vaccination program at the Newtown Health Centre. We are now at a critical stage of the implementation of the final element of our four-pronged strategy to keep our country safe and restore it to normalcy in a safe and sustainable way. Yesterday, I was so proud to see so many persons volunteering to take the vaccine. We had members of the cabinet, doctors, nurses, the clergy, diplomatic corps, etc., being part of this watershed event. We have begun the process of immunizing our citizens and residents against COVID-19. In doing so, it is our expectation that we would achieve herd immunity so that our country can safely resume to, quote-unquote, a normal way of life. When we vaccinate enough of our population, we achieve our goal of reaching what the medical fraternity refers to as herd immunity, or what is sometimes called population immunity. This is the indirect protection from an infectious disease that happens when a population is immune, either through vaccination or through previous infection.
Prime Minister Harris was amongst the first people to take the AstraZeneca vaccine on Monday, February 22, 2021, at the COVID-19 vaccination rollout and campaign launch at the Newtown Community Centre. The vaccination will continue at the Bastille, Sandy Point, Tabernacle and Newtown Health Centres on St Kitts, and the Charlestown, Gingerland and Combamere Health Centres on Nevis during the week.
Thanks, Christian.
Now that the vaccine rollout has started in St Kitts and Nevis, questions are being raised about the side effects of taking the jab. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Hazel Laws gave a snapshot of some of the common side effects that can be expected after taking the vaccine.
Now, based on the data and the science, these are the common or the most common post-vaccine symptoms to date. So persons who receive this vaccine may complain of pain, tenderness at the injection site, general feeling of being unwell, feeling feverish, having a headache, joint or muscle pain, and probably a loss or reduction in appetite.
Dr. Laws, speaking at the National Emergency Operations Center Task Force COVID-19 consultation event on Tuesday, February 23rd at the Ross University of Veterinary Medicine. Some 70 people took the first jab of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine at the Newtown Health Centre on Monday, February 22nd, including some cabinet officials and medical personnel. Dr. Laws said she had started contacting some of the people who received the vaccine on Monday.
About 70 persons received this vaccine at the Newtown Health Centre. And so when I woke up this morning, I started making calls to persons who would have received the same. Quite a bit of persons said, "I'm fine. Did you really give me something yesterday?" Others complained of tenderness or pain at the injection site. Some said they felt cold last night. I think about 2 or 3 persons complained of experiencing chills. About 4 or 5 said, "Hey, I had a mild fever, but I took 2 paracetamol tablets and I was fine." Some complained of a little feeling of fatigue or malaise this morning. Some said, "I just have some body aches and pains." One particular person said, "I'm experiencing mild headache." And I think most or all the persons who were vaccinated yesterday, they all came out or went to work this morning. So that just gives you an overview of the post-vaccination symptoms being experienced by our own people who were vaccinated yesterday.
As previously reported, a database to capture any side effects from vaccinated people is being developed, and the expected time of observation, as noted by Dr. Laws, is a minimum of 3 months.
On Tuesday, February 23rd, more than 1.2 million Rotarians worldwide celebrated 116 days of Rotary International. Representatives of the Federation's Rotary Clubs appeared on WINN to share the good news of Rotary. Past District Governor of District 7030, Trevor Blake, a member of the Rotary Club of St Kitts, told WINN about the evolution of Rotary on the islands.
Rotary has been in St Kitts for now almost 52 years. The Rotary Club of St Kitts, my club, our club, was launched on the 11th of July, 1969. And I want to pause here as I say this, because our charter president was the late PDG Fred Lamb, and his widow has just recently passed. So I would like to extend my condolences and the condolences of the Rotary family here in St. Kitts to the family of the late Betty Lamb. But PDG Freddie was our founding president, and he was responsible for the growth of Rotary, not only in St. Kitts and Nevis, but across many islands, including Dominica, where our AG is from originally, and other parts of the certainly in our district in 7030. He was also very instrumental in developing the district as it is now.
Although over 100 years old, Rotary only granted membership to women in 1989. Assistant District Governor Francis Ann Satney commented on the role of women in the organization.
Indeed, we waited for many, many, many years. I was fortunate by the time I came in, all the groundwork and legwork had already been done by some strong women who advocated and shared what women could do, the difference that women can make, and in making their contribution in organizations like Rotary. And in fact, we have, next couple of years, we will have our first female.
In 2 years.
In 2 years, yes, our first Rotary International president. So it's a great feeling, and we all know, not taking away anything from what men can contribute, but I mean, it does make a difference when we have both genders. I'll be safe by saying that.
Ms. Satner said these days Rotary aims for greater inclusion.
I want to say we have gone beyond that and ensuring that it's all inclusive, that everyone who has a contribution, whether it's from your skill, profession, just the dying need to serve humanity, that there's an opportunity within Rotary. So yes, women across, in fact, our incoming district governor is a woman, Sonia Arling from Barbados. So I think we still need a lot more in our own club. We only have 7 or 8 women and 27 men in terms of our membership.
The secretary of the Rotary Club of Liamiga, Dr. Marcus Natter, responded to a question about the impact of technology on Rotary clubs.
We have actually gotten a lot closer, I believe. The ability to have our meetings virtually and invite persons, other Rotarians from across the globe, and even non-Rotarians. We've used it sort of also as a recruitment tool as well, because we can, persons can sit in their offices and, invite co-workers to tune into our meetings, and we've had that. And we've actually forged some relationships recently with other Rotary clubs in the US and in the UK specifically. And so hopefully once things sort of get back to some sort of sense of normalcy where persons can travel, we can even build on these relationships some more and create some projects. For our club, the Rotary Club of Liamiga, we have long partnered with clubs. We had a diabetic foot care project, which is actually still ongoing, that started with matching grant from clubs in the UK, the United Kingdom. And so we've long forged these partnerships, but again, the ability to speak to anyone across the globe virtually and invite them to meetings or other sessions has proven to be a great resource for us, so much so that we have begun hybrid meeting sessions. So you mentioned earlier that we meet for breakfast each Wednesday, but once a month we have decided to do virtual meetings where we can then interact with our friends and colleagues across the globe as well.
The Rotary Clubs on St Kitts and Nevis have delivered several big projects over the years, including providing ambulances for the hospital, building a wing at the Joseph N. France Hospital, prostate screening, diabetic foot care, spelling bee competitions for primary schools, promoting literacy, care for the elderly, and attending to the needy.
The Penny's Park project is 50% complete, so says project manager Michael Perkins. Bronte Swanston Hendrickson of the Nevis Newscast has the details.
Quite a lot has been completed and, of course, is ongoing. We have two main toilet blocks, one on the northern side of the compound next to the road that leads down to Penny's Beach. The other is on the southern side of the compound next to Shalagut. The structure, the main structure in terms of walls have been completed, and sometime in around April we expect to see the installation of the roof structure. The contractor with some material which should be here early April, I'm advised, and then we'll see the roof structure being placed on the toilet blocks. We can add at this point that the roof structure would be a little different, or somewhat different from the typical type roofs we see on Nevis, as it would have a sort of Taiwanese blend to it, in terms of a curved roof, to put it as simply as I can.
Project manager of the Penny's Beach Park project, Michael Perkins, giving an update on the progress of the park on Friday, February 19th, 2021. The project manager also noted that the project is just about 50% complete and is on target for its deadline.
A number of components of the park has been completed, and I can also speak briefly to an area where you'll have a children's play park, where you can have you will have slides and the typical type things that children would enjoy to do in a park. So quite a lot is ongoing and or has been completed. And in terms of the progress, we are just past 50% completed. Again, the expectation is that the project would be completed in December or by December of this year, 2021.
According to Perkins, the park allows for parking of up to 72 vehicles.
Thanks, Bronte.
In news from Barbados, a computer chip containing an individual's fingerprint, driver's license, and other personal data are to be included in the pending Barbados Digital ID and National ID card. Attorney General and Minister of Home Affairs Dale Marshall Queen's Counsel has told lawmakers. Barbados Today reports.
A chip including information such as the holder's fingerprint, driver's license, and other personal data will be included in the proposed Barbados Digital ID and National ID card. However, Attorney General and Home Affairs Minister Dale Marshall has promised that the data on the chip would be protected and can only be shared with whom the holder allows. Marshall made the disclosure as he spoke on the Barbados Identity Management Bill 2021 in Parliament yesterday.
That data, Mr. Speaker, would include such things as
your fingerprint if you wish. Because at the end of the day, when you present your ID card, somebody ought to be able to authenticate it. You ought to be able to authenticate it. And therefore, your national ID card, when now issued, will have a chip which will have data on it, and that data is protected, and that data is available to the individuals with whom you're dealing if you so desire. Now, this really, it is not a long bill. It is only about 34 or 35 sections. But what it speaks to is a modern environment for doing something that we've come to take for granted.
The AG explained that a campaign would be launched about the security of the digital ID, which is set to replace the laminated plastic card currently being used.
We need a secure form of ID that is available for Barbadians, that is available for anybody who is entitled to register, and that will establish with the maximum level of certainty that I am who I say I am. Happily, technology has brought us to a place where we are now able to do that. And this national ID bill will once and for all give our ID the power and authority of statute that it so badly needs, and will establish a certain framework for its issue and for its management.
In St. Lucia, Broadcast Minister Dominic Feedy says the government remains committed to ensuring the preservation of the nation's archives. Feedy was responding to questions of what will become of the now defunct Radio St. Lucia's archives in the wake of an unsettling viral video. This report from HTS St. Lucia.
The government is currently in negotiations with a receiver to safely retrieve archives from the former state-owned Radio St. Lucia, RSL, which has been closed for nearly 4 years. The Alan Chasney administration, citing financial losses, shut down the storied entity and placed the radio station into liquidation. A viral video which has been making rounds on social media shows some of the archives of the radio station housed in a ramshackle storehouse in poor condition. Broadcast Minister Dominic Feedy provided an update on the government's handling of the matter.
We have received a price for the archives from the receivers, and that is something that we intend to negotiate.
Feedy also disclosed that the government has to also work out the legal issues, as it has no control over Radio St. Lucia.
We announced that this problem existed 10 years ago, so this is not a new problem, but the archive at Radio St. Lucia had been abandoned 10 years now. But it's something that we want to address. We don't have the legal control over the station. What we do have is we have the opportunity to now negotiate with the receiver to see how we can retrieve the archive.
The broadcast minister says the authorities will do all in their power to safeguard the archives for future generations.
Our government is committed to ensuring that for posterity reasons, all of our historic archaeological information and record and evidence is kept intact and safeguarded. And I want to assure you, Sheffield, that we're doing everything possible to make sure that we safeguard our archaeological information for many generations to come. We are of the view that this information is no doubt going to be what is necessary to help our people to understand where we have come from as a country and where we're going, and to make them understand the purpose and to make them understand the destiny of our country.
Officials stated that the move to close down the radio station was part of government's efforts at debt reduction. RSL, which was established in 1972, became a statutory entity in 1975 and was later corporatized. RSL was among the first radio stations on island which featured news, music and talk shows. The radio station had one of the most extensive archival material on St. Lucia's audio history. Gina Filippi, HTS News Force.
Live from NPR News, I'm Corva Coleman. Pharmaceutical companies are ramping up to deliver hundreds of millions of COVID-19 vaccines for Americans by the end of this summer. But members of Congress are asking them if they'll hit those delivery targets. NPR's Sydney Lupkin has more.
Lawmakers questioned pharmaceutical executives Tuesday about making COVID-19 vaccines more widely available. Colorado's Diana DeGette chairs a House Oversight and Investigations Subcommittee. She asked Pfizer why it hadn't delivered the 30 to 40 million doses it originally promised by the end of December. Instead, the company only hit the 40 million mark last week. Here's Pfizer's Chief Business Officer, John Young.
We did initially experience some problems with the initial ramp up of our vaccine. And I think in common with other panelists here, we've been in the process of developing a manufacturing process for a vaccine product that we've never made before.
He says the company is on track to deliver 300 million doses by the end of July. Sydney Lupkin, NPR News.
A House panel will hear from Postmaster General Louis DeJoy today. NPR's Brian Naylor reports DeJoy's testimony comes as the U.S. mail system continues to be plagued by late deliveries.
Some people are still getting Christmas cards. Others are getting late notices for bills they thought they'd paid on time. On-time first-class mail delivery rates remain below the post office's own standards. Postmaster General DeJoy has said he's working on a 10-year strategy to modernize the Postal Service, but some of the reported provisions of the plan, including slower local mail deliveries and higher rates, are already being criticized by mailers. And some Democrats want to see DeJoy replaced. DeJoy isn't commenting on his new strategy until it's complete, but he's expected to give lawmakers a progress report today. Brian Naylor, NPR News.
A New York State grand jury has declined to indict 7 Rochester police officers in the death of Daniel Prude. The family of the black man forced the release of police video that showed him naked, handcuffed, and with a special hood over his head as officers pushed his face against the ground. His death was ruled a homicide. New York State Attorney General Letitia James had brought the case against the officers.
History has unfortunately repeated itself again in the case of Daniel Prude. The criminal justice system is badly in need of reform.
The U.S. Justice Department released a statement saying that it is reviewing the case. A federal judge has indefinitely banned President Biden's executive actions on deportations. Biden proposed a 100-day moratorium on deportations as part of a review of Trump administration actions on immigration. Texas officials objected and then sued. It's not yet clear if the Biden administration will appeal. This is NPR.
CNN reports that golf legend Tiger Woods' lengthy emergency surgery following his one-vehicle rollover crash required the insertion of a rod, screws, and pins to stabilize his leg, according to a statement on his Twitter account. Woods was awake, responsive, and recovering after the surgery at the Harbor UCLA Medical Center, the statement said. The 45-year-old was driving shortly after 7 a.m. Pacific Time Tuesday in Rancho Palos Verdes, near Los Angeles, when his SUV crossed a median and veered across 2 lanes of road before hitting a curb, hitting a tree, and landing on its side in the brush. Woods remained conscious but sustained serious leg injuries, authorities said Tuesday. Orthopedic trauma specialists inserted a rod into his tibia to stabilize both the tibia and fibula bones, stabilized the foot and ankle bones with a combination of screws and pins, and relieved pressure to the muscle and soft tissue of his leg by surgically releasing the covering of the muscle, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Anish Mahajan said in a statement. In the days leading up to the crash, Tiger Woods had been teaching golf to movie and sports stars. Having seen the damage at the crash site, Los Angeles County Sheriff Alex Villanueva said it was, quote, nothing short of a miracle, end quote, that Woods was still alive.
You were listening to the WINN FM 98.9 headline news. Again, our top stories were, apart from the health benefits, what are the side effects of taking the COVID-19 vaccine? Regionally, a computer chip containing an individual's fingerprint, driver's license, and other personal data are to be included in the pending Barbados Digital ID and National ID card. Attorney General and Minister of Home Affairs Dale Marshall QC has told lawmakers. In St. Lucia, Broadcast Minister Dominic Feedy says the government remains committed to ensuring the preservation of the nation's archives. Thank you for listening.
That was the WINN FM headline news. The headline news was brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, KDP Enterprises, The Grange, and Carib Brewery.
We are faced with tough decisions every day, but choosing the right home or motor insurance shouldn't be one. You need fast claim settlement from a company that's been rooted for over 31 years. And don't forget the A Excellent rating by AM Best. Make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Reliable insurance that you can count on. Get a quote today for your home, motor, contents, and liability insurance needs. And make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance. Tomorrow secured. Local agents, Dalil Walwyn & Co. Limited. Telephone 465-2631 or 469-5303 for the Nevis office.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world. Whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous, you can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air. We get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises, telephone number 466-9595.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts, offering 24-hour nursing, therapeutic, and residential care for older adults? It's situated at Otley, 7 miles east of Vastair in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodation to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020, fax 466-8221, or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com, or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. WINN FM.
For an exciting year with Flow Broadband and TV connecting you at home. Sign up now and get a free Samsung tablet worth over $900. Up to 100 megabits per second blazing internet will keep everyone on top of everything every day. While Flow TV delivers the best home entertainment with the latest shows on demand in HD plus favorites you can record. Visit your nearest Flow store today to sign up for Flow Broadband and TV and get your free Samsung tablet. Conditions apply.
Power up in February at Horsford's Value Mart IGA. Yes! In February, we are giving you 3 ways to power up. 1. Power up for your Value Club points in February. Yes! For the first time ever, every Value Club customer will earn double points on all Value Club purchases at Value Mart in St Kitts and Nevis. 2. Power up in our Power Play where lucky customers will win their purchase free. Just listen out for the Power Play alert, and if you are at the Mystery Power Register of the day, you win your purchase absolutely free with double points and more. 3. Power up your saving with the Horsford's Value Mart Red Tag Value Deal. Yes! Power up with the savings with huge discount on select Value Deals items. Power up your points. Power up your saving. Win your purchase free in our Power Play. Power up February at Horsford's Value Mart IGA. Don't miss it.
Terms and conditions apply.
Good afternoon. I hope you guys had a hearty lunch. I had one. Jade definitely had one.
First of all, Devonne, you did not have a hearty lunch. Don't lie to the people. Devonne's mom made him some soup, and Devonne decided to eat the soup for breakfast and lunch.
I'm going to admit, yes, guys, I ate out some of this soup.
And
it was too good.
It looked. Let me tell you something. It looked
too
good.
good.
It looked like the lunches that I love. I had I
had in
cooked
pigtail,
yesterday.
though.
Woo!
Had in pigtails.
Glory.
If you don't eat pigtail, I'm sorry for you.
Too bad. You're missing out. However, so I cooked, but I didn't cook. You know, we usually have like traditional. I cooked some basmati rice and some coconut curry chicken because that's what I wanted. Yes, you know, a little fancy. However, my ideal lunch is usually the more traditional, the more, you know, your grandparents go to. And while I was eating, I was thinking about how a lot of us can't or don't know how to make what our grandparents made or our parents made because we don't take the time to learn. So I feel like a lot of those traditional dishes are going to be lost in with this generation or the generation before us because truthfully a lot of us don't know how to cook those things. Not that we don't know how to cook. We don't know how to cook those things. We don't know how to make the black pudding, the goat water, the cook up, you know, the sauce and all these things. And our parents and grandparents are known for these things. Like, you know, how I know you used to go by your grandparents on like a Saturday, and she got a big pot of cook up with the black bottom on the stove, and you just can't wait to go dig out the pot.
Look. It's a real thing, eh?
Oh?
You see, Jade, it's a funny thing, you know. You say, I mean, we have people in my age range that could cook, but you can't cook real food.
No, y'all know how to cook some little fried chicken here and
You
a
can't
macaroni
cook
pie there,
real
but like,
food. I just eat some soup there, right?
and I bet you don't know how to make it.
I may not to make it. Look, I tell you, try to make soup, yeah, and I fail.
You need to go in the
Miserably.
kitchen when mommy is cooking.
I'll be there.
You ain't paying attention, Devonne. You're buying on when the food get done. You're probably telling the man, hurry up, man. But you're not paying. Let me tell you something. When I was about 7 or 8, my grandmother taught me how to make cook up. My first try was a disaster because the food, for some reason, turned green. But it tastes good.
I don't know how it turned green.
That's weird.
It was. However, I was, I was a child, so that's acceptable. If I do that right now, everybody watching me sideways like,
green food, unless you put in food coloring or something.
Boy, I don't know how the food turned green, but I know it tastes good.
Mm-hmm.
But like before my grandmother died, like she used to try to teach me how to make certain things, like things that are closer to our heart, and that's why I will always go back to that on over any food. Like you know how excited I get when I passing a place and I smell some good goat water or some good cook up with pork, of course, because without pork is a travesty to me.
Yes.
I don't know how we are doing it, but I wish you all the best.
You know, Jade, and I agree with you. If you cook up in the pork, in the cook up, right?
That's why it's a chicken.
That's my take on it. That's my take on it. If you cook up in the pork, it may know what it is.
It's rice and chicken.
Rice and chicken and whatever else bush sugar in there.
Yeah, man.
But you know, looking at how our grandparents used to cook back then and how we cook now. These days, you know, the children them they want to eat noodles and macaroni.
Ramen and
ramen. Look, I don't like them things, eh?
You stop there. Good. Watch your ramen is versatile, okay? I'm not
convenient. It's convenient.
Besides being convenient, I'm not going to sit here and let you slander ramen because the things that I can do with a ramen, I don't just boil a 3-minute water and put in the ramen packs. Me ain't doing that. My ramen, anyway, we're gonna talk about that.
well, it's not that I never used to eat ramen.
Mm-hmm.
How I used to do my black pepper and my parsley flakes. Yeah. A lot of parsley flakes.
What parsley tastes like?
I don't know.
Nobody knows. Parsley is decoration. You either see some places douse the food with
fresh parsley.
I don't think so. Maybe that's
fresh parsley is better.
Trent, what parsley tastes like? You have a restaurant. You don't know either. I tell nobody know what it tastes like. I'd see decoration.
Fresh parsley and parsley in the bottle.
That's what it is used. That is don't. Let me tell you something. They cook. And by the time they're done with that parsley, the whole plate green.
Okay, Jade, there's an interesting comment here on the Facebook Live.
What is that?
The person says, stop eating meat.
No, they mean they should stop eating meat. They're talking about themselves, which I agree.
I know some people who don't eat meat.
And I wish them all the best and I clap for them. But that's not my ministry.
Bye.
That is not my ministry.
That's a hard thing, you know.
What? Let me tell you something. I tried to stop eating chicken for one day.
That's a hard thing, Jade. Look.
Stop eating meat?
On a serious note, there's a place in Nevis called Sandy. Do you know Sandy? Those for fried chicken? Bye.
And I must stop eating meat.
And
I must stop eating chicken. I must stop eating meat, boy. When you could do so much things with meat. I've had, okay? I've had.
Jade.
I've had.
Look.
Sandy chicken.
Listen to
me.
On
a Friday.
Listen to me. All of you listen to me. All the Kittitians. When you go to Nevis, not if, when you go to Nevis, head to Brown Hill and ask for Sandy.
And get a chicken.
Best fried chicken on the island.
Trust me, one day I went to Nevis. And when I was going home, I was hungry. And, you know, I'm not in St Kitts. I know where I could find food. Them kind of times in St Kitts. But then somebody tell me go buy a chicken from some man named Sandy. And
it's on a different level.
My God.
KFC ain't got nothing on that.
Okay, we're going to say all of that. But
no, KFC ain't got nothing. That's the Nevis KFC.
You're not going to talk about the... Hello, Nevis KFC is KFC. Okay? You're not going to make people riot and say that we... Anyway, those were the thoughts of Devonne. I did not participate in that at all. But
you know, very interesting conversation. How we cook today versus how we cooked, I don't know, 50 years ago.
Do you think that contributes to our health?
A lot. We suffer a lot from NCDs in the Caribbean region. A caller made a very good observation. Have you ever heard of corn pork? Corn fish?
No.
Well, my mother introduced me to corn pork.
I could see the disgust in your face.
Wait, no. So I saw her there with the salt. It was about 2 or 3 boxes of salt.
Oh, this is how they used to preserve things back then. Yes,
and
yes.
the pork. And me mother dabbed the thing. I said, Mommy, what you doing? He said, I can't in the pork. I said, what is that? Apparently, back then, you know, when you had no fridge and so
that's how they used to preserve, yeah.
But Jade,
I bet you can't tell somebody my age right now to do that.
for me, the process, I didn't like the process, but the end result, it was good.
Okay, see, they were onto something back then. You know?
It was good.
They had to find ways to do what they needed to do.
According to DuPont, there's a radio battle. It was damn good.
Trust me, our parents, they knew how to do some things with some things, okay? And that's one of them. I don't know if I would like to learn how to do it. I don't know if it would be something that I use because I have a fridge, but you know, anything can happen. God forbid the electricity go one of these days and your fridge gone with it. What are you going to do?
And that's a problem that we face today. I don't think we may be more technologically advanced and have all of these systems and
but the traditions,
networks and all these things in place, but our traditions, if you lose power today at home, is in my opinion, your life is basically over.
What? Panic?
People.
You remember when we lost? You remember when we lost electricity? That time when the power when the thing at Skellig was on fire. You see how the whole country almost lost their mind? Because we can't function without electricity.
It's a serious thing, you know.
It is.
And, you know, these days you have everything in your freezer, your chicken, your pork, your fish, your stuff. You ain't have no generator. You ain't have no current because your current gonna go. What you gonna do? Your stuff spoiled.
That's exactly what happens.
Can your fish and can your pork.
How they gonna do it? They don't know how to do it. I can guarantee you that a good 80% of people that are our age don't know how to do this.
Yeah, that's sad. Because you see, these days is about, and I think we are getting busier and busier and busier. So it's more of preparing foods that are convenient. Because if you have a busy life where you work an 8 to 4 or a 9 to 5 and you go home and then you have something else to do in the evening,
kids to deal with,
children to deal with, and all of that responsibilities that you may have, you just chuck a little macaroni in the pot.
3 to 5, 7 minutes. You add a little.
Ramen take 30 seconds.
3 minutes. I don't know what kind of ramen you eat. You sound like you're eating ramen.
You know,
but
and
3 minutes, Devonne.
That's what
and
we're doing now.
And a packet of sodium.
Yeah.
Terrible.
But you know, Jade, it's a very good conversation that we're having because looking at how we eat now has a lot to do with how we act as well. I may not have any scientific data.
Let me tell you some scientific data.
But Jade, I believe, right? Because you got some people these days that act different.
Children. The food?
Is in the food.
You think that's bad? You were a child once. You remember when? I mean, we talk about it on our on Ireland Tea. When we were a child, right, and our parents used to give us the little change to go buy snacks at break time and stuff. It's all.
Pal, I used to buy pal. Pal
that used to hurt your gums?
The chinga one kind of taste.
And then when you try it 5 times and then it
No. You bite it once and on a taste after.
Pal is just for jaw exercise, okay?
Yeah.
But we used to buy these things and we used to buy like straws filled to the brim with nothing but sugar in different colors.
A lot of sugar. Yes.
Yes, a lot of the things that we used to buy as children were just colored sugar, basically everything from Nerds to Laffy Taffy.
Feel guilty now.
To Ring Pop. All of them are just sugar, literally sugar, that just were in different forms. And that's why we never used to keep still. That's why we never used to sit down. That's why our parents used to have to talk to us 20 times. Sit down here, tired. Like, we used to stress out with parents because they used to give us money to go school, to buy sugar. So when we're done eat all the sugar, we come home. What we going to do with the energy?
You know, children these days, and maybe we're guilty of it too, but back in the day, you know, well, not back in the day, but children these days, and as I said, we may be guilty of it, but I don't think they don't drink water.
Maybe certain kids don't drink water, but I can guarantee you My child, who has all the energy, drinks water, okay? He knows water by name, and he used to.
Yeah.
Mommy, water. Mommy,
I would
fridge
say
water. Because I really try my hardest not to give him any juice or anything with sugar. Sometimes Jaden will get a party bag, right? And Lord, I hope no parents listening. But as soon as we reach home, the party bag going in the garbage because who going to give the child?
Yeah, all the sweets.
To run behind Jaden?
All the sweets.
All night?
And you
You're
see,
crazy.
there are some children that, you know, spend all day in school, and the parents should make sure pack their bags with a balanced meal where you would give them a little snack, and then you give them some fruits. But Jade knowing children these days, you know, listen, they ain't eating the food,
Yeah,
and
because
they ain't
that's not
drinking
something
the water,
that they're
you know?
accustomed to do. If you can't expect a child to do something at home and then give them a whole different thing to do because they're at school.
At school, yeah.
If you're not, children need supervision. If you want them to do the right thing, sometimes you have to supervise them. If you're not teaching this child at home that fruits and vegetables and water and all of these things that are good for you are actually good for you, and you should indulge in them. When you're home, that you're giving them a snack here because you want them be quiet and sit down and watch TV. You give them a chip or, you know, that's what, if you give them that to go to school with and you add the snacks, they're going to watch the snack like this foreign entity because they're not accustomed. I mean, they're going to watch the food as a foreign entity. They're not accustomed to eat these foods at home. So why would you send them unsupervised to school where everybody else have a snack? Everybody have the Lays or the Chips Ahoy, and they're going to have a banana. How they're going to work?
Yeah. Sometimes you got to think about, and you're the second or third parent I have heard said the same thing. You don't really want them to feel. The self-esteem is very important.
Hello,
you know?
well, Jade, I'm going to be the only child in school with a banana all the time. Again,
Jade,
you have to think about the long term, not just to quell them in a moment.
True. Don't just think about the now, but think about the long-term effects. There's an interesting comment, very good comment, on the Facebook live stream. Says, Sagadon says, those are just excuses to eat bad. Your health should be priority over everything else, no matter how busy you supposedly are.
That is true.
That is true.
However, we're dealing with realistic situations and adults. Yes, our health should always be first. We know this long time. We know if we don't eat properly, diseases and all of that. But like in the moment, sometimes you just can't deal with it. Like sometimes in the moment, oh, we have a call. Somebody wants to tell us about eating.
Let us take our first call for this afternoon. Caller, good afternoon. You are live on Voices.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm here listening to your program. And one thing y'all were talking about there, where children going to school and seeing other children having these snacks and what's not. So your child might feel indifferent if they have the foods and what's not. But we have to teach our children and let them know it's okay to be different.
Yes.
You don't have to be or have what the other child has.
Right.
And it does not mean because everybody else have what they don't have. They are less of an individual than those people.
I agree.
Okay? We have to teach them these values. And that's one of the things that my wife and I did with our children and we do with our grandson. Let him know it's okay to be different. Right? All of us, if God has created all of us to look exactly alike, the world would be in real confusion. Okay? So that's all we have to do. Just teach them that it's okay to be different. It's okay to have a mind of their own. It's okay to dress different. It's okay to look different. It's okay to eat different. Speak different. And they will go with that. So when you give them the fruit and the rest of the class would have the snack, it wouldn't bother them. Because it's a part of them now. Thank you for listening.
No problem, caller. Thank you for your call. And yeah, that's what I was saying, but it has to start at home. You can't expect a child to just decide on their own. Because really and truly, if you put an apple and you put a ring pop in front of a child that doesn't have that love for fruits or...
Well, apple tastes good, eh?
Apple tastes... Trust me, apple tastes good. But if you put certain options in front of kids, you know what they're going to choose. Because when I was a child, if you give me an apple versus a ring pop, I taking the apple, I taking the ring pop.
Mm-hmm.
I want me nice little sugary snack. They're gonna color my tongue, and you know. But yeah, we have to start teaching kids from young and at home that fruits and vegetables and water especially is important, because kids go to school and majority of the day they run from class to in the field when they go for break time, and they're not drinking water. They rather go to the tray and buy a juice, or they buy a bag drink, or they buy a chubby. Remember them chubbies?
Yes.
Chubbies was lit.
When I used to see a chubby,
What do you mean? I see chubbies all the time in the store. I just don't
buy
buy
them. I don't know
them.
when last I drink a chubby.
They're not for us, Devonne. They're not for us. You think that little mini bottle for us? That's a gulp.
Yeah.
That's a sugary gulp.
Another comment says, "Thank you, caller. I blame the parents 100%." What I would say to that is, yes, parents would have to take responsibility for how they train their child or children, but I think some parents do it to prevent a conflict, and I'll explain. You send your child to school, and even though you're encouraging them to, it's alright to be different, and love what you have, and don't look at what others have, because you don't know where they get it from. Your child is going to school, and they've been begging you, "Mommy, Daddy, I want some of the Lay's, what's the popular brand, the barbecue Lay's," and you're not giving them at least one. Come on, one wouldn't hurt.
Yeah,
Jade.
no, we can't.
One wouldn't
Yeah, we
hurt.
have to. I mean, we also have to teach them that they can make decisions for themselves. Like, we
Right.
can't just give them one sort of thing. And you know, another thing that we have to look at is what the environment.
Right.
Because when you were going to school, have you ever went to one of the trays that were outside the school and saw fruit or vegetable? We don't. They don't sell these things.
That's a very interesting thing to note. But just to think, they go to school and you're asking them for the Lays, and the children asking their parents for the Lays and not getting it, at least one. And you know what they do?
Their friend can get them.
Or sometimes they steal it.
And that's not what we want.
And that is not what we want. So, yes, it's always good to encourage your children, because you don't know what the other child would have gotten their stuff from.
Life, okay?
But, man,
but we just have to teach them that these things can also be an option. These things should also be an option. Don't just eat sugar day in and day out. And, we have to teach them about nutrition and balanced diets and eating things that are also good for you. Yes, you can have a snack now again, because even as an adult, you could be eating the best, but like sometimes that's why we have cheat days. So we could eat cauliflower and broccoli 5 days out the week, and on the 6th day we have a burger because it's a cheat day.
Yeah, you free up.
Yeah, you have to sometimes to feed that craving, because if you don't, next thing you know, you're eating 10 burgers, 3 servings of fries, 2 milkshakes, just because you deprive yourself of something for so long that when you finally give in, your body or your mind just overdo.
Definitely. Jade, we're having a very good discussion. We have been receiving some comments here on the Facebook Live, and we have another call. Good afternoon, caller. You are live on Voices. Hi, good afternoon. You are live on Voices.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, can you turn on your radio a bit, please?
Sure. Hey, Jade, how are you?
Hi, Rondon.
So you guys had an interesting topic today, so I thought I'd just add some context.
Sure.
Because I know just recently there was some conversation where they was talking about excuses making excuses about getting healthy food, or it's the parents' fault. but sometimes it just boils down to availability.
Right.
And one of the things I think you touched on, and it's been discussed in the U.S. and all over, is a situation called a food desert. Now, a food desert is basically anywhere that has limited access to affordable, nutritious food. So you might, Jay gave the example that she loves the ramen. You might have a convenience store that has a large amount of ramen, candies, and things like that, but they don't actually have nutritious foods such as apples, fresh vegetables, fresh juices. So you're kind of stuck with what you got. So sometimes in those situations, the parents might want to, or persons might want to have healthy food, but it's not available to them.
That's an interesting point.
It is.
So we actually have some examples here in St Kitts. If you go to a lot of village shops, or you go to places that are out the way that are not from the main town, you will see areas where they have these smaller, quick, filled with preservatives types of foods there, as opposed to more healthier choices. One, because sometimes it might be cost effective, and two, as I mentioned, those preservatives, it lasts longer. So if you have a low income home, you might want to focus on, all right, I need to have this that it would last or it would hold a bit longer, as opposed to, sometimes fresh food, as its name being, it's fresh. You can't preserve it. You can't hold on to it. So those kinds of factors do affect the way what is available to that person and how they eat. And I know a lot of persons are talking about, I guess they're doing a misnomer. They're equating cheap food and nutritious food. Now, cheap food can be healthy, but it might not be available to that person. You always have to separate, and obviously price factors into how you buy or how you get things, but it does not necessarily equate to the quality of the food. To give an example, when you see something that says it's refined, usually when you see like refined rice, refined flour, most of the nutrients have been stripped out of it. And it's usually sometimes more expensive than, as the lady who called before mentioned before, the unadulterated products. Usually sometimes they say, okay, I buy the bulk, the brown rice. It's cheaper. Why? Because there was more processes or steps in making that refined product.
Yes, that's a really good point. These are some good points that I think more people should think about as well when they have these type of discussions. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, we really appreciate this type of input.
Definitely, I agree. Thank you so much, caller, for your input. We have another comment in the live, Jade. Folks need to be more disciplined. But before I get to that, let me just add to what the caller was saying. Remember earlier we spoke about price control on food. There are some parents that would love for their children to eat healthier and
Have
eat
the apples
better,
and the grapes and
but they can't afford it.
True. That is true.
They can't afford it. So they would take $10 and they would buy a small pack of Cheetos and get a child because they can't find the $50. Because then they're stuck in a situation where it's either you buy this small thing you have $50, Jade. You use the $10 to buy the small pack of Cheetos and the 40 to keep on the lights and the water. Versus taking the full 50, buying the food.
Because
no water,
when you compare, for instance, an apple would cost like $4.50, but a bag of Cheetos is $1.50. And you, as a parent, these are hard decisions for you to make because you want to be able to afford to keep your lights on, but you also want to at least give your child something to make them give them something that you think can make them happy, or quell them in the time. Like it's very true. It's very true. Boy.
Right. We're receiving a lot of traction here on the Facebook Live. Sagadan says, caller, if you're dealing with the Federation, we do not need junk food. What we can't afford to buy, we grow. Stop the excuses. I grew up not eating any junk food. Interesting comment. But what I would say to that is everybody's not the same.
And we're also living in different times.
Different times. Everybody's not the same. So
You maybe back then he could have easily grew. What he said he did? Grew? He grew up not eating junk food.
Mm. Yeah, remember that's the point we made.
To buy, we grow.
We grow, yeah. Remember, people can't afford to. If you can't afford to buy the expensive fruits and vegetables, you grow them.
But we also have to realize that some people are not living in spaces that belong to them. Also, they don't live in houses that belong to them.
Yeah.
A lot of people are renting, and you can't just go dig up the people's garden to go grow your potatoes because you want a potato. That's not how it works sometimes.
Gee, this opens another whole conversation because it's easier said than done. No, grow your food if you can't if you can't afford it. But do you know how much effort and energy and time and labor and all of that you need to run a backyard garden?
Yes.
Because
I see my brother do it.
And not only that, these days you would probably have parents who work that 8 to 4, 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to be there to make that hustle, to make that money, to keep.
And sometimes they have 2 jobs because the one job can't supplement.
The one job can't supplement.
Mm-hmm.
But what they do, they try to run the backyard garden to get their own fresh food. But then you have the monkeys. But Nevis has a lot of monkeys, and they're terrible.
Donkeys too?
They're terrible.
Remember, so we have a monkey task force now. I wonder how that's going. I haven't heard anything about the monkey task force in a while. We need to check in on them.
You have the monkeys, and then you have humans.
Mm-hmm.
You have humans who just go and ravage your stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
And you're not there to garden 24/7?
Just imagine, building up your garden or your farm, your backyard farm, and you put in a lot of work. You could just get your fresh watermelons, your carrots, you name it. Mm-hmm. You come back home, Jane, and all of them are gone.
Boy.
Just sit where you are and just think about that for a moment. Put yourself in their shoe. Think about that.
And sometimes
again, it's not to provide any excuse.
No, but
looking at the possibilities.
And we have to understand the times that we're in. Again, some people have 2 and 3 jobs. Like, when are they going to find time to grow a potato when they have to leave one job, go home, barely have enough time to spend with their family before they have to get ready to leave and go to their next job, which probably doesn't finish in a time that would allow for gardening. So it's not like, I don't think it's just people not wanting to do these things, but in the climate that we're in, and sometimes we have to do what we have to do, and we have to do our best, and our best sometimes does not let us have time to do certain things like gardening and growing our own fresh food.
Jade, I like to say, if you're not in the kitchen, you wouldn't feel the heat.
You're not going to understand.
Thinking about a family, a large family, a single mother with probably 4, 5, or 6 or 7 children, they're all under or younger than the age of 18. And so she has to work 2 jobs. She has an 8 to 4 with the government, and then she has a 5 to 10 with private sector. So she's out typically from 7:30 in the morning to about 10 o'clock after 10 in the night. But she's trying her best to make sure her children eat healthy. So she had intentions to start a backyard farm. But the time is really not there to do the backyard farming, even on weekends, because on weekends, her private job would call her to come in and spend the whole Saturday and half of the Sunday. So she wants to make sure that her children are eating healthy. She has 2 options. Consider that she has the 8 to 4, the part-time job, which is still not making ends meet because she has a mortgage, she has bills, she has 7 children, 7 of them to feed, who are all in school depending on her. She either has to make up her mind if she's going to go to the store and buy the expensive fruits
and sacrifice a bill.
And sacrifice the bill or the mortgage or the current or the water, whatever you name it, or plant the food, which she's really not in a position to do
that. Yes, that is true.
But I think it's easier for persons who may have more time on their hands.
Because realistically, gardening does take time.
It
Because you have
takes a
to
lot
take.
of time.
You have to. You
yeah.
have to.
I could imagine. I've never done it,
Neither
but
have
I could imagine it takes a lot of time.
Actually, one time I grew a peas tree.
For myself, today I get tired. But there's another comment. This instant gratification to or microwave society is killing us.
Let me tell you something, right? Mommy don't believe in microwave.
Yeah.
We don't have a microwave. Devonne, it is stressful. I mean, I understand why a lot of people don't like microwaves and stuff, right? But it is stressful because let's say you cook and you cook for the week, right? You put your food in the fridge.
Which is cost. You save a lot of money like that.
Yes.
Cost effective.
Now I have to go turn on the oven to go heat up this food, which is going to take me time. Suppose I don't have the time to go do that. Mr. Food poison.
Yeah.
I understand fully why some people have microwaves.
You put
Yes.
it in the microwave.
Yeah, instant gratification isn't always bad. I understand that sometimes it could make us lazy or it could harm us, but sometimes we need that instant gratification because we don't all have time to sit and wait for food to heat in the oven, okay?
Well, when he said it's killing us, I think he actually meant literally killing us.
I think so too. Because remember
I'm not sure what you meant.
microwaves give us cancer and these things.
Yeah.
You know the old superstitions.
Yeah.
Some of us now have what do they call? What are they called? I have one as well.
What's that? A toaster oven?
No, it's like a stove with microwave power. It's called yes, an air fryer.
Air fryer.
An air fryer is life.
An air fryer
okay?
is trash.
What? Nobody. Trent, and your life is better in it. Okay. Nothing.
Yeah.
What a food, air fryer is. It is. You see how you want to cook healthy, but you don't have the time. Plop some chicken in an air fryer, right?
So the chicken come out the same as.
Yes. No oil need. No oil, Devonne. Devonne, you just say things without even. Devonne, I feel like you just say things without even thinking. You're talking about an air fryer is trash.
No, that is not real. That's not very. That reminds me of Cloudy with the Chance of Meatball. You ever watch that?
Yes.
When they make the food in the little thing, you see what had happened? Oh, you go ahead. We're having a very good discussion here. We are still welcoming your calls, and we love the comments. Keep the comments going. Remember to send us a WhatsApp at 662-2204. The numbers again are 466-0989-762 and 662. We will take a short break if we have no calls to say thank you to our sponsors. And when we return, we will continue. It is now 11 minutes past the hour of 1, and it's a very exciting discussion. You are listening to Voices with your host, Devonne Cornelius, and special guest, Jade Johnson.
Why do you call me?
You better power up in February at Horsford's Value Mart IGA. Yes! In February, we are giving you 3 ways to power up. 1. Power up for your Value Club points in February. Yes! For the first time ever, every Value Club customer will earn double points on all Value Club purchases at Value Mart in St Kitts and Nevis. 2. Power up in our Power Play, where lucky customers will win their purchase free. Just listen out for the Power Play alert, and if you are at the mystery Power Register of the day, you win your purchase absolutely free with double points and more. 3. Power up your saving with the Horsford's Value Mart Red Tag Value Deal. Yes! Power up with the savings with huge discount on select Value Deals items. Power up your points. Power up your saving. Win your purchase free in our Power Play. Power up February at Horsford's Value Mart IGA. Don't miss it.
Terms and conditions apply.
Get ready for an exciting year with Flow Broadband and TV connecting you at home. Sign up now and get a free Samsung tablet worth over $900. Up to 100 megabits per second blazing internet will keep everyone on top of everything every day. While Flow TV delivers the best home entertainment with the latest shows on demand in HD plus favorites you can record. Visit your nearest Flow store today to sign up for Flow Broadband broadband and TV and get your free Samsung tablet. Conditions apply.
Found the sound. 98.9 WINN FM.
Welcome back to Voices. We're having a fun discussion. We're having a fun edition of Voices. You know, not the serious politics.
Yeah, the serious thing, like, man.
Labor and Pam and all these
These
political
things
parties.
every day, man. People don't want to hear that every day.
We're
People
laughing
want
today.
people want some entertainment, some
Laughing
jokes.
today, you know?
But it's
And
mixed
for
with
my sanity.
education.
Huh?
It's mixed with education.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Mm-hmm.
This is Voices, and today is the 24th day of February.
February almost
Today is
done.
Wednesday. Today
It
is a
is.
wonderful Wednesday.
Wonderful Wednesday. I like
Jay,
it.
there was a quote for today. I have to say it, guys.
You have a quote for today?
Yes, I have a quote today. You know those people who send you a quote every single
You
morning?
mean like in your family group chat?
No.
Well,
It's
in
this regular
mine.
person. But I look forward to the quotes every morning. It says, never allow yourself to run out of love. The more you give is the more you will receive. Have a wonderful Wednesday.
Is that true though? The more you give, do you receive more?
I think so.
You think? Oh, I don't know.
I think so. I think so.
One of these days, we have to talk about why it's okay to choose violence, though. And not violence meaning like fighting. But you see how people often say when people say bad things to you, you don't have to answer them all. I feel like we just need to start normalizing.
You know, and not even to go off topic, but just to add right there real quick. Sometimes when people tell you things, you have to answer them, eh?
Let me tell you something. I wonder if I can find it.
You got to answer them because they're going to feel like they could walk over you. Answer them and put them in the place.
Let me find me. This is my Devonne. When I tell you this is the favorite video.
We ain't going off topic, but this is
not off
we
topic.
just
This
got
is about
to
photo.
we just got to this
When people
stick
tell you
that
about
in
your
there.
diet, tell them these things. Oh dear. We're not going off topic on this. It's something that I saw, and I honestly I agree with it. Is it this? This isn't the video. This is a screenshot of the video, which I don't know why I have found it.
When y'all tell me to be the bigger person, no, I'm going to be small as hell. I'm going to be an ant. When they go low, I go to hell. I'm going to the earth crust. You try me, you ain't gonna try nobody ever again. Stay away from me. Don't do it. Just don't do it. And if you can't take it, it's not my
problem. Leave me alone. That is a better quote for today. When they go low, I go to hell. Anyway, back to food.
Okay. Oh, there's a comment on the WhatsApp number. It says, the other day, I went to a business place and I forgot my mask. And one of the employees wanted to charge me $10 for a one-time use because they looked at me and said, I have money, so I can afford it. Oh, this was referring to the conversation we had earlier.
When people charge you more because of how you look?
Because of how you look.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, that is
ridiculous.
sad. That is sad. I like to say it's sad.
It is more than sad. That is downright evil. Like, why would you do that to people?
That is sad.
Not because I might have on a nice little uniform. You don't know what's going on in my background. I might be so close to losing my house because I can't afford to pay my mortgage because I had to choose between my mortgage and my light bill, and now I had to go pay my light bill to keep on my lights. Well, now I'm gonna lose the house that I can't keep on because I choose to pay the light bill. Yeah, don't do that to people.
Yeah.
Please, let's not because I said when we go go to hell. Please be nicer to people and understand that that's not the way you should do things.
Yeah, definitely.
Business.
Jade, we have another comment on the live. It says, we have everything around us to sustain ourselves in a healthy, natural way. As a nation, we should be healthier and living longer lives. My grandmother lived to see 90.
Man, if I want to live so long. but anyway.
But up until her last days, or closer to her last days, as a 90-year-old, or in her 80s, to me she was comfortable. Apart from a knee pain, which people who in the 20s experience.
Let me tell you something. I got all kind of pains right now.
I think we have quite a few centenarians around here. People, and we have quite a few persons who are living long lives, and not just long lives, but long healthy lives.
Let me tell you something, right? Shannon Halley, her grandmother is like 97.
Wow. I think I saw a picture of her. It was a birthday or something,
yes,
right?
Recently. Yeah. Almost 100. Imagine living 100 years on this earth.
Nevis
oh boy,
boasts of the oldest centenarian in the Federation. She passed.
Aww.
Her name was Cillian Martin Powell. She was the, Melby, who is on, I think he's on British Got Talent.
Yeah.
Melby's.
You mean the Spice Girl?
Yeah. Melby's great-grandmother.
Oh, okay.
That's right. From Nevis, Zion Village. Her name was Cillian Martin Powell. She died at the age of 107.
What? 107? And
7.
Wow. Do you think it's because of their diet? Because, older people, these people come from the times when yam and breadfruit and
I think it's because of the diet. Because
potato and stuff.
back then they had no air fryer.
Stop. You will not slander air fryers on the air, okay? You could say they didn't have any microwaves.
They had no microwaves.
They used to have
It was ground food.
Oh, I love a good. Let me tell you something, right? One of my
not ground food, not ground food.
Ground, yes. One of my favorite meals, right? That actually makes me get excited when my dad cooks. He does this thing with it's basically fish soup, but the things he adds to it green banana and put sweet potato and Irish potato. Man, even looking for the dumpling. I'm looking for the provisions. Give me some provisions. Oh.
I mean, I like provisions, but I do not like green banana. Let me just say that it tastes nasty to me.
What?
Green banana. Yeah.
I have to look at you differently now. Because you cannot be real. What do you mean, Devonne?
It does have a weird taste.
What do you green banana?
Why would you eat green banana, Jane?
Why would you not?
Why would you? Green banana?
Some mashed green banana?
Nope.
Devonne, I don't even know what to say to you now.
You got to add it. You got to pack that green banana for me to eat it.
Pack it with what?
I don't know. All kind of things. Lord, you guys forgive me, but we have another call.
I hope they're cussing you about green banana.
Good afternoon, caller. You are live on Voices. Hello?
Oh, they don't want to be live. Well, you would have to call our other number. Sorry, because this is the live number. But you can send us a WhatsApp or a voice. You can send us a voice note. Or WhatsApp, yes.
Yeah, at 662-2204. 662-2204.
So since you don't like green banana, which I'm judging, what's your favorite corn provision?
Carrots.
Carrots?
We have a caller. Caller, good afternoon. You are live on Voices.
Not only should you eat green banana, you should also eat green banana, boiled green banana.
Well, yeah, we're talking about cooked. We're not talking about
with the skin.
What? Okay,
sounds funny, eh?
With the skin?
Caller, you might be on your own with that one there.
We always have a conversation about a lot of things that we discard throw away and give to the pig or other animals, but most of the pigs. It's where a lot of the energy lies from certain provisions. And, we always say wow, but the pig doesn't get sick. because the pig enjoys most of what we as human beings ought to enjoy. So yes, it is scientific, and otherwise, that's where the energy lies, closest to the skin. But there are some certain dangers. I like my cucumbers with the skin.
Same.
Sometimes it just depends on where I buy it from. If there's this sign of, apprehension as to how it was prepared in the field.
Mm-hmm. And the
Because it's not
pesticides
everybody
and all of
that
that.
keeps certain guidelines. So, but if I go to a certain farmer who follows a more organic guidelines, so be it. But yes, Mr. Cornelius, you need to start to eat green bananas, boiled green bananas with the skin. If it's crushing them, it might be different. But if you're going to cook some soup with your other provisions, yes, start to get to eat green bananas with the skin.
I'll try, but
It's a different, a lot of the minerals.
I'm not going to lie.
Lies there.
With this skin is scaring me. Because,
Absolutely.
yes.
I enjoy it that way.
That's
It never
and
used to always.
congratulations to you. Thank you, caller, for that input.
Definitely.
Devonne, I don't know if you wanted. If you don't like green banana, I don't think you should start with the skin. Honestly, I don't think that.
No, I wouldn't do that. No. There is a comment on the Facebook Live by Ronnie Carr. While there are better options in eating, it does not necessarily mean it's always the right options for someone's budget, diet, or lifestyle. Think it is better that a person is informed about availability of food around them and nutrition contained so that they can make the best choices for themselves and their family that works for them. So even though we think it might be the best option
for you,
it may not be so for someone else. So it would have to fit into their lifestyle and most importantly their budget. Their budget. We have a caller on the line. Good afternoon, caller. You are live on Voices.
Very blessed afternoon to you, my friend, along with your co-host and all your listeners everywhere.
Thank you. Good
I
afternoon.
would like to make an input on the natural food that we produce in the Caribbean. And what really forced me to call was your saying you do not like green bananas. That's the only reason why I called. Yeah, honestly, I wasn't going to call. I was listening. But when I heard you say that you do not like green bananas and it tastes nasty, that offended me.
It offended me as well.
Yeah, I felt very bad about that because I grew up in an agrarian community, and that was the main core of our breakfast on a daily basis, green bananas. And probably had it not been for green bananas, I would not have been talking to you now.
Right.
So I dare say that green bananas, you may not be familiar with some of the names that I may call. We call it blogger. Here on St Kitts, I have heard people calling it plantain. We also have the traditional plantains. When ripened, they become yellow. A lot of people like to fry them, but I do not like to fry them. I prefer to steam boil them and eat them in their natural state. They taste best that way.
Call it just to add, you could also air fry it. Call it over Jade.
Please repeat, sir.
There's this thing. There's an air fryer. You could air fry it. Have you ever heard of an air fryer?
Right. Thanks for that information.
Yes.
I was not familiar with that. So I'm saying to you that the green bananas can be steam boiled and used with just about any meat. And some of our favorite meats used to be things like saltfish, smoked herrings, You would hear people saying smoked herring, the same thing. Salted mackerel. You would have stewed backs and necks, or back and neck. Chicken. We eat opossum in Grenada. Or
You
manikou.
eat what? Sorry? You eat
opossum.
what? What?
It's a wild meat. We call it manikou. We
I
also have the
I feel like I
tattoo.
heard that already. What's the global name for manikou? Is it manikou?
Opossum.
A possum? You mean a possum?
Opossum, yeah.
Oh,
It's a
no.
rodent, yeah. Just like in St. Vincent, they eat the agouti. And there is also the armadillo. We call it tattoo.
Y'all eat armadillos as well?
Oh yeah, it was used. It was used during the World Cup in Brazil.
Yeah.
The armadillo was used as the mascot. So we have eaten green bananas with just about every meat you can think of, including crayfish.
Yes.
You would hear the Americans saying crawfish, crayfish. It's similar to the lobsters. So the Vincentians call them river lobsters.
We have those here as well.
Right. So green bananas, one gentleman spoke about preparing the green bananas with the skin. What people do is you cut off the two ends and you run the knife through the skin and you boil the bananas with the skin on. So when they're cooked, you then easily remove the skin.
That's what I usually do.
and
I've
scrape
I've never seen anybody eat it with the skin, but you know.
No, it's not eaten with the skin.
You don't eat it
you
with the
can
skin.
cook
The
it.
caller eats it with the skin.
No, that's wrong.
You can tell about it. But
Yeah, he can probably use the skin separately and blend the skin to prepare a drink or something like that. Because I've seen
caller. The guy says he likes it with his skin on.
Right, well,
We
I'm
are
not-
not going to food judge here.
I am not aware of that because I have seen a video where someone actually blended the skin of a green orange and prepared a drink which they said acts as an antioxidant. So a lot of things can be done with the skins of different fruits.
Yes.
So you spoke about green mashed bananas. I have that in my kitchen right now.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So, I mean, this gentleman sort of despising green bananas, I think you are actually missing
I think he
a very
upset the nation,
important
actually. I
part
think he
of your
upset.
life.
Yeah, I think he upset the nation when he said that.
Yeah, I think a significant part of your life is missing.
I think so
by
as well.
saying something like that.
Well, I appreciate the feedback, but you know, it's just me. I mean, I like breadfruit. Well, I like breadfruit now. I'm getting to love breadfruit. I think breadfruit.
And the breadfruit has also been used to produce flour as well.
Yeah.
Yes,
Someplace
yes.
in Vincent.
But caller, we are actually at the end of our show today.
Right, great program.
Thank you so much for
And
your input.
Definitely, thank you for your input. Guys, this was another exciting edition of Voices. Of Voices, history. Y'all telling me what is screaming at. Thank you guys so much for listening to this edition of Voices, and thank you, Jade, so much for joining me
No
today.
problem. Anytime.
It was
I'm only right outside.
Good discussion.
It was.
Very, very good discussion. Until next time, stay safe, wash your hands.
Don't let nobody cough in your face.
Don't let nobody cough in your face. And
Ooh, I need to get up that drop.
do what you have to do to keep yourself safe and have a wonderful Wednesday.
Yes, we'll see you guys again on Friday.
Definitely. Take care.